So Cardano ADA has dropped more than 13% following this big move to the upside, which I believe was a 20% move. So if I just very quickly say a 21.35% move to the upside. And so it does look like we are still on a bearish trend and we could go even deeper. Now, I have been talking about some possible setups within this wave Y, and one of which was a 5-wave move where ADA could potentially be in a wave 3. So effectively what we had was a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where this wave 3 could go slightly deeper, and the wave 4 and wave 5 would play out in the days to come. And within this wave 3, we had a potential 5-wave move, where effectively you had your wave 1, your wave 2, your wave 3, your wave 4, and then your final 5th wave. Now, for this wave structure to be valid, we talked about keeping an eye on a key level, which was this level here at 61.3 cents. And we talked about how if the 4th wave ended up extending beyond this level, which is our wave 1, then this wave structure would be invalid. And as you can see, the price of ADA ended up extending beyond this level here. And so what we can do is discount this scenario from playing out. And so that then leaves us with two other possible scenarios, one of which is that the 3rd wave is finalized, and then we had this 4th wave move to the upside, and then we are now in a wave 5. And should that be the case, that wave 5 is typically a 1.236 to 1.618 retracement of this wave 4. So ADA has the potential to reach anywhere between 45.34 cents to 48.882 cents. So if I adjust this to here, and so yeah, ADA has the potential to reach this region here. Now, the other scenario could be that we have a WXY structure forming within the Y wave, where this becomes our W wave, and then we have our X wave, and then our Y wave. Now, it's possible that the X wave is complete, given that it has met the minimum requirements, and we're now on the move to the downside. But at the same time, it's also possible that we have a WXY structure forming within this X wave. And so a key level to be keeping an eye on is this level here. So if ADA was to drop below this level, then that would confirm that this X wave is complete and we are now in a wave Y. Now, in fact, this corrective move, if this is a WXY, typically it retraces anywhere between 50 to 88.2% of the wave W. And so this would be a key region actually. So if ADA was to go deeper, then it would look likely that we are within a wave Y. So that's a key region to be keeping an eye on too. Now, if the X wave is complete, what we can do is try and predict where the wave Y is going to finish. And again, that wave Y typically retraces anywhere between 1 to 1.236 of our wave W. So if I bring that to the right position, so you can see that ADA has the potential to reach anywhere between 37.1 cents to 40.92 cents, which is more or less within this region here. So I'll just keep it as it is. Now, short term, we are still bearish, given the fact that the price of ADA still currently sits below the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA. Now, it would be nice to see ADA actually retest the 50 EMA for those that are leverage trading. And it's possible, again, that you get that WXY setup where we actually break through the 50 EMA and potentially retest the 200 EMA, which currently sits at 62.228 cents. And so, yeah, if we do end up retesting that 200 EMA, then it's possible that we get that WXY setup within this X wave. Now, as far as the 4-hour chart goes, you can see that we are still bearish, given the fact that Smart Money Concept is indicating that we have a weak low at 51.1 cents. And so it's likely that we actually break that low and go even deeper, where we potentially reach either this region here between 45.53 cents to 48.81 cents, or this region here between 36.95 cents to 41.84 cents. And you can see that we have a strong high too at 77 cents, And yeah, it's not looking likely as things stand at the moment that we are going to retest this level. And so, yeah, I do anticipate ADA to continue to go to the downside. But at the same time, it is possible that we get a double bottom within this bigger WXY structure and we see a move to the upside. However, I am still anticipating further room to the downside. Now you can also see that on the stochastic RSI, we are within the overbought conditions. And so the bears still have the momentum. Now there is a slight shift too on the stochastic RSI, as you can see here, and we had something similar play out over here. And if I just zoom out slightly, and that never really made that much of a difference on the price action, which of course is proven to be correct given the fact that the stochastic RSI doesn't reflect the price action. All it does is give you an indication on the momentum. And so right now the bears do have the momentum despite us being in the overbought conditions. And so even if we were to see a move to the upside, I don't anticipate ADA to reach this region here. We could potentially retest the 50 EMA. Or best case scenario, we retest the 200 DMA. But should we do so, I do anticipate a rejection and a further continuation to the downside. And of course, on the daily chart, you can see that the 50 EMA ended up crossing the 200 EMA, which I've talked about previously, and 100% of the times that this has happened, this has led to a negative reaction on the price of ADA. And I do anticipate a similar scenario to play out. Now, we are within the oversold conditions, and despite this being the case, I don't anticipate us being bullish anytime soon. Now, what Elliott Wave Theory can't do is time the market, so we don't necessarily know how long this bearish trend is going to last, but all we can do is predict our targets. And right now, there's three possible scenarios, one of which is a double top and we see a move to the upside. The other scenario could be that ADA reaches this region here in a 5-wave move within this Y wave, or the other scenario could be that we are in a WXY structure within a Y wave and ADA could potentially reach this region here. And so, yeah, that's just my quick update on Cardano ADA. Hopefully you found this useful. And if you did, then feel free to hit that like button. And if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.